I don't actually know anything about that. Monica, thanks for the $1. Can you DoorDash me a bag of ice? I don't think I can do that, Monica. Unfortunately, I don't think I can do that. All right, if you're MAGA, let me know in the chat, and I will bring you up, and we can talk, and you can tell me why you're MAGA. Why on earth? Why on earth did you vote for Donald Trump? Let's put in Kelly. Let's throw Kelly up here. I don't know if she's still here, but we shall see. Her request has been sitting there for a while, and I think that it expired. I think she's gone. John is spamming relentlessly. This guy, John, I don't know. Oh no, we'll give this guy a chance. I mean, this guy's just spamming relentlessly. He doesn't have a.
How you doing, man?
Got spamming a lot there, man.
No, I
Very
was just
passionate.
I was trying to get in. I haven't been.
How old are you, bro?
I'm 19. I haven't debated you yet, so I was just trying to get in.
Sure. Have you debated anybody else or not?
I
Just
debated like the three others, like Dean and.
Oh, really?
Chris. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Usually we talk about abortion, so if you want to talk about that, then.
Sorry, can you say that again? What did you say?
Like when I talked to them all once, and we all talked about abortion. So if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, I'm happy to talk about that. Also, wait one sec. Drop a follow if you haven't already. Venmo, Cash App, link in bio. Also, keep double tapping the screen. We're close to 400,000. So, yeah. So, what particularly about abortion?
Well, that was a reason why I voted for Trump, and I am pro-life.
So you voted for Donald Trump because of abortion?
That was a reason.
What a stupid thing to do.
Well, I'm pro-life, so.
Yeah, I mean, you can be pro-life, but like voting for Donald Trump.
Well, he did
because of that, ignoring everything else is like really.
No, I didn't say that. No, I was saying.
You said that's.
That was a reason. It was a reason why.
Okay, a reason. Okay.
But like, I usually talk about that. Like, if you, so I just kind of want to talk about like your thoughts and hear you here because usually when I talk to you guys, I do learn a lot more. So I do think this is like a pretty helpful thing.
So like, okay, so why are you so pro-life to the point that it's the number one thing you bring up when you vote when you're considering why you voted for Donald Trump?
Well, I feel like I've always been really pro-life my whole life, and I do come from like a pretty pro-life family. I have seven brothers and sisters. So, but so I think it's murder, and I think that it's a big thing that should be banned because I think it's wrong and immoral.
Why do you think it's murder?
Well, one, human life begins at conception, which is like you would agree, right?
Yes.
And it's ending. Abortion. I'm allowed to say abortion, right? Because
I think so. I don't know. I've never had any problems, but I think so.
But like an abortion is ending that human life.
Yeah, but there are other ways of which human life is ended that you're okay with.
Like what?
Like when in the event of like self-defense, for example.
I would have
or like a family pulling a plug on a brain dead patient, unless you think that they shouldn't have the right to do that, which I think that would be crazy. But like, you know, if somebody's hooked up to machines and the parents don't want, or the whatever, not parents, but like a family doesn't want to go through that anymore, they have the right to pull the plug. Are you in favor of that, or
self-defense and pulling the plug? Typically, yes, but like I can see it's like you can kind of like say I'm contradicting myself when I talk about the brain dead person because like the reason why people pull the plug is he doesn't have conscious. Well, like also fetus doesn't have conscious, so I can see why you think I'm contradicting myself when I say that. But
yeah, I mean, well, if your argument's life, right? Like you're not saying like consciousness or anything like that. You're just saying I think it's a life, and I think taking life is bad. And if that's your view, then you'd be against that. But of course, you wouldn't be against a family pulling a plug on a brain dead family member or whatever, for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So then, like when it comes to an abortion, when it comes to like a circumstance where I don't know, you have like an 18-year-old girl and her boyfriend, and you know they do their thing, and there's an accident, and she's about to go off to college. She doesn't want to be mother. He's about to go off to college. He doesn't want to be a father. Like why in that instance is life so precious and so valuable that they must go through it with a pregnancy that they don't want, whereas a family can pull a plug on a brain dead patient?
Well, I don't think if you don't want, just because you don't want it to, or maybe not, it'd be very difficult to. It's a reason to end the life.
Why not?
Because you don't know what's going to come out of that life. One, because I know multiple people who who are adopted, and they could have been like aborted. They come from, and like just I don't think it's a good enough reason to abort the baby.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good argument at all, because like a terrible person, like the potential argument of, oh, they could be great, or oh, they could do this, is, you know, it's same in the inverse of, oh, they could be terrible, they could be a horrible person that do horrible things on
Yeah, well, that
in
doesn't
earth
mean
that they're on.
everyone should get the right to life.
Not if you're a non-sentient being before 20 weeks. I don't think you have a right to life. But anyway, that's a conversation for, we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
But just because somebody can go up for adoption or be put up for adoption doesn't mean that that person, that woman, should be forced to carry that baby to term. There's a lot of consequence that comes with pregnancy. It's not like an easy thing that like, oh, you'll be fine. Like after 9 months, it's over, right? It's like, no. It really messes with your hormones. It messes with your body. It can kill you. I mean, you know, the United States has a really high rate compared to other developed countries of maternal mortality, specifically among women of color. It's like, you know, this is no easy thing.
Well, yeah, but there is a lot of backlash from abortions too. Like women receive a lot of depression and a lot of hardship.
Not necessarily.
And yeah, it's
Not
true.
necessarily. Yeah, but that's, you know, if a woman wants to go that route, you know, that's a decision she's making. A woman, when she has an abortion, can understand that there are potential consequences of that abortion, which are typically incredibly rare, right? But at least she has that choice. Your view is saying, no, you don't get the choice. You have to go through with this. You have to go through with my way. Whereas folks like myself are saying you can make whatever choice you want. If you want to be pro-life, you want to keep, that's perfectly fine. If that same 18-year-old girl that we talked about earlier wants to make that decision, she is not comfortable with abortion, even though she wants to go to college or whatever, fine. She can make that decision. But if she wants to terminate, that's fine. But you're saying she has to make the decision that you agree with.
Yeah,
you see how that can be like.
I think it's murder, and I think it should be illegal because I
But
believe.
okay, but you don't think pulling the plug on the brain dead patient is murder?
No, not typically, because one, it's not going to ever become life again. Like,
but it's life.
Sentient life.
But well, no, they're very much alive.
Yeah, but I'm not sentient, conscious life.
But if your fundamental is life, then they're very much alive.
No, I know, but a fetus can have consciousness in the future. A brain dead person cannot.
But why does potential matter? Because like,
no, I know
sperm has potential, but you're not going to like regulate men.
Yeah, but
you know,
the fact that it's alive and has potential, I feel like shows that
sperm is also technically speaking alive.
No. But like the human life, it's still the beginning of the human life. And
yeah, but I mean, but again, if your argument is potential, you have to say like, oh, like any man that releases sperm that is not with the intention of getting someone pregnant is then killing like millions and millions and millions, I think billions, I guess, of life. I don't know how to say this in like a TikTok friendly way. But then, you don't understand what I'm saying?
No, I understand what you're saying, but I just don't want it's not, since that life hasn't begun, that life isn't valuable.
Wait, but okay, so now, okay. Do you see like you're like deciding what life is valuable and what life isn't?
Yeah, that's why this is very.
Do you see how that's not? Do you not see how that's contradictory? You're saying like
that's what I said
you're pro-life, but only some life is valuable and some life is not. That's
no. Like I think all human life is valuable. The brain dead thing is a little. I'm a little shaky on. I need to do more like research on that.
And that's fine. You can do more research on it. But the point is that if your fundamental is life, you're like, I care about life. That's why I'm against abortion. I care about life. Then you'd be against IUDs. You'd be against.
I am against IUDs.
You're against IUDs?
Yeah.
Why are you against IUDs?
Because it's ending. It's still ending. It's like conception.
Oh my God! You guys are such freaks. You guys are such freaks. Are you against IVF as well?
Yes. Yep.
What? See, do you not see how your worldview?
Like I believe our human lives are wasted in an IVF.
Do you not understand? Can you not see how your worldview just hurts people?
No.
Like there are so many people out there who have created families through IVF. Yeah. There's so many women out there who have IUDs. There are women out there who have IUDs for other reasons, and just contraception generally for other reasons than just intercourse, right? Do you not see how your worldview doesn't just make all these people's lives worse?
No, yeah, I don't think that like people who are born that way are like from what's the IVF, right? Are like not valuable. I've actually talked to her, Chris.
I understand that. I'm not saying you think they're valuable or not. But my point is that wouldn't you? I mean, like in my view, politics is there and government is there to make people's lives better, right? Mm-hmm. And to try to make life as optimal as possible and give as many people options to be successful and live happy lives.
Yeah.
Your worldview is doing the exact opposite of that. It is regulating
No.
families, making it harder for families who
Mhm.
can't have children to have children. It's making it harder for women to not get pregnant, and avoid the situations of which we're discussing right now. It's just like your entire worldview makes their lives worse. That's
The
all.
reason why I think that it's wrong is because there's so much life wasted in it in an IVF.
Oh my God.
True.
Hi, Nurse Heather. Sorry, I just saw you in the
Hello.
comments. I didn't see you earlier.
How was your trip?
It was good. It was good. I'm tired, but it was good.
I bet. Did you just get back today?
Yeah, just back today. Just back today. And then I took like a 3 hour nap accidentally. So
You'll be up all night.
yeah, probably, unfortunately. But anyway, do you have any comment on anything you've heard thus far?
I think that this is a lot of opinion from a 19-year-old, honestly.
Yeah,
Look, I'm not gonna stop doing research. I'm not gonna, but like currently where I'm at right now, I'm very pro-life, as you can see.
Yeah. Okay. So, I have a question for you.
Mhm.
What do you think about red blood cells? Are they alive?
Yeah, there's like plants are alive, but it's not technically human life.
So yes, red blood cells are alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're actually not. But if you don't have any red blood cells, you can't survive for like seconds, right? So we place a very high value on something that is actually not alive. So why can't we do the inverse? Why can't we place low value on non-sentient life?
Maybe sorry, repeat that.
Okay, so red blood cells,
Mhm.
they are not alive. They're basically the same as like hair cells or skin cells or nail cells. They're not alive.
Yeah.
But they have a very high value to us, right? As humans. We value red blood cells very, very highly. They carry oxygen in our body. Without them, we last seconds. Right? Valuable,
Yeah.
not alive.
Yep.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, why can't we do the inverse? So we have, a single cellular organism, which you're saying has the full value of a newborn baby.
Mhm.
Nobody disagrees that it's alive, but it's a single cell. So why is it valuable? Just because it's alive?
This is a human life and it has a soul, and
Well, what's a soul?
It's gonna be very difficult for me to like define like my like religious beliefs, but
So your pro-life stance comes from religion?
like everything I stand comes from religion.
Okay.
Do I think that abortion can be debated off a religious, like not from a religious perspective? Yes. And then, but like I believe abortion's murder, and it does come from our religion. Therefore, I should fight to end it because it's murder.
You
You know
know
what I
that
mean?
there is abortion in the Bible, and there's also like infanticide in the Bible, right?
Can you say that to me? Can you tell me like an example of that?
How? Oh, I'm not very good at the actual verses. I've
No,
heard
you
them a
can
bajillion
tell
times.
me.
I'm sure you've heard them if you've debated this topic with like Parker.
You can tell me whatever it's called. Like
What is it? Leviticus
no, you don't tell
something
me
or
like you don't have to tell
other.
me that. You can say what the contents of it.
Abortion
No, the
in the
context
Bible?
of the Bible and abortion in the Bible. Yeah.
Yeah, you can take like I think it's called bitter water in the Bible to end a pregnancy in the Old Testament.
Was it considered like a good thing to do? 'Cause I don't think it was.
No? I think it was like God saying that you can do this.
I don't think it was, but I have to find that quote.
Oh, don't worry about it. I'm already on it. Yeah, and then the infanticide. I mean, that happens all the time in the Bible, right?
The what?
Infanticide,
What is that?
the mass unaliving of babies.
Yeah, from the Egyptians and yeah, the Egyptians did it. That's not like it's just retelling. A lot of it's like from history. Not like
Okay, Numbers 5:20 to 28. Priest causes a woman to drink bitter water. um, to, yeah, cause an abortion.
Okay, that doesn't mean God caused her to do that.
Well, I mean, in the Old Testament, isn't a priest the word of God? What a priest says is what God says.
A priest could be any type of priest, especially in the Old Testament, because there's not like what kind of priest is it? Did it say? Like priests weren't really like in the old, like especially Leviticus, they weren't really like made as much. They were more like prophets, not really priests.
I said
Priests might have
vendors.
been from different religions, or that it's talking about, or but
But
like
anyways, it's there. And I mean, if you don't want to argue about it from
it's pretty there.
the standpoint of the Bible, you can also do it from the standpoint of your Constitution,
well, no,
because in your Constitution, the 14th Amendment says that you don't, people don't gain their rights until they're born, which is actually crazy because we give rights to fetuses.
do you think that so like 24-week has no right to life, or shouldn't be?
Yeah, so myself personally, I think that 24 weeks is a little bit late. I would like to see the laws move to 20 weeks. But prior to that, I don't think their value is as high.
So that goes against the Constitution, though. It hasn't been born yet, so.
Well, no, I mean, yeah. So that's like placing rights. That's extending rights, right?
That's not technically right.
What do you mean?
That's not right. It only has value till when it's born, because, like you said, like you think it's wrong to have an abortion at 24 weeks.
I do, but that's just me.
What about you, Harry? You think that's wrong?
Yeah, my view's at 20 weeks or sentience.
Yeah. So that clearly.
But I don't think it's wrong if somebody gets an abortion at 24 weeks under like certain circumstances.
Like what?
Like life of the mother or something like that.
Yeah, it's actually really, really hard, right?
Only life, like only that, or any other like.
Yeah, the only reason that you can terminate a pregnancy after 24 weeks, anywhere, and the law is like this pre-Roe v. Wade and after Roe v. Wade, is if the mother's life is in danger, in which case you would, because it's after viability, you can save the mom and the baby, or if the baby's already passed away, and you want to prevent the mother from going into sepsis and passing away herself. Mm-hmm. Those are the only two reasons that after 24 weeks you can even try and get a termination of pregnancy.
Like a few abortions that just been very late term were not in that situation.
It doesn't happen.
It has happened.
No, that's a lie.
No,
whoever told you that is lying. It doesn't happen. You can try, but you will never find a doctor that will do it.
Yeah, I also think that there's like extreme circumstances in like every topic where you can be like, oh, well, this happened, which means, everybody that gets an abortion is bad, or like we have to pass pro-life legislation because this one anomaly. It's like the 99% of abortions, or the overwhelming majority, I should say, because I don't know if 99 is the exact number, take place in the first trimester, right? It's not.
It's 1% of abortions. That's still like a.
1% of abortions. No. It's less than 1% of abortions take place in the third trimester. Less than 1%.
ChatGPT.
Oh, he left.
We can't hear you when you go off the.
So while he's gone, great. We can tell the truth.
I said I asked ChatGPT. Is that a good source to use?
Well, I mean, ChatGPT can cite reliable sources, but I would recommend that if you're going to use ChatGPT, you read the sources first.
I just asked, and it said like 1% of abortions are.
So I think
the reason why I do ask that because it gives you like a quick answer and it's quick to do. And I just did.
No, I don't.
1% of abortions are what?
After 20, or I think 24 weeks or 20 weeks. I don't know.
Yeah, very, very small.
Yeah, but that's still a number. You said you said never.
Well, I know, but an abortion is just the termination of a pregnancy, and like I said, it can either be because the mother's life is in danger, that's still a termination of pregnancy or an abortion, and you can save the baby. The baby doesn't have to be not alive, right? And the other one is if the baby is already passed away, it's still an abortion, even though the baby is already gone. So those are the two reasons that you would do it after 24 weeks.
Yeah, again, less than 1%. It's less. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not 1%.
All right.
Yeah. So like any of this belief or nonsense that you can like terminate a pregnancy fatally because you want to that later, like at 30 weeks or something, that's a lie. You cannot do that.
I did Google it also that before one time at like 24 weeks, and I saw 1%, so that's kind of why I thought that. But like, no, I'm not disagreeing with you guys there.
So yeah, it doesn't happen. It's like not a thing.
Yeah,
It's just
no,
this is very much like a fear tactic from Republicans, or I should well, mostly conservatives, pro-lifers, to make us to invoke an emotional response toward abortion, to be like, oh my God, look at this, like this practical, the 30+ week fetus that the liberals had terminated. It's like, no, like I think Pete Buttigieg put it really well in the 2020 election, where it's like the people who are getting third trimester abortions are people who are planning to have this child. They probably come up with a name. They're buying like supplies. They've maybe created a bedroom for their child, and they get the devastating news that they have to terminate the pregnancy.
Yeah.
And that care should remain accessible to those people. You know?
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Like it's like that's an awful thing, especially if you're having a late term abortion. You're definitely expecting to have a baby.
Right. So yeah.
So I'm more interested in this, like you being against the IVF and the IUDs. So also against Plan B, I would assume.
So Plan B, like, what is that? That's like the day after pill.
Yeah.
Well, like conception, you don't know, but like, it can like end the pregnancy after conception, right? You never know.
So it won't prevent conception. It just prevents implantation.
So like conception hasn't happened yet.
When you take it, usually not. No. But it doesn't stop conception from
But
happening.
you don't know though, right?
No. You wouldn't know that for an IUD either.
Yeah, I know. I didn't know. I don't know as much from Plan B, but that's
We
all.
work quite
I
similarly.
don't know. Yeah, that's why I disagree with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think like the challenge is that I think that IUDs are like the most common long-term reversible contraceptive that women use.
Yeah, because like, look, I know, like, let's say they did ban what IUDs. Like, there could be more abortions that were happening, like later term, but like, it still like technically isn't like a extremely, like, at some cases you don't know, but like it could have happen after conception. That's kind of why I personally disagree with it. You know what I mean?
With IUDs?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm just curious, like, what you would replace them with. Like, if IUDs got banned, knowing that they're the most common form of contraception at that, like for that type, long-term, reversible, like, what would women do?
I don't know. I mean, there's nothing else like. If this conception's already happened, then I think that the baby should be delivered.
Okay, so you think that a single-celled zygote is just as valuable as a newborn baby?
Yes. Yes.
That's a little nuts. I'm sorry. Why?
So let's do that. Let's do the hypothetical. Like if you had two conceived eggs in like a petri dish, and there's a house fire, two conceived eggs in a petri dish, as like a process of IVF, and you had one, year-old baby. I guess they're still called babies at that point. Year-old baby in a house. You can only save one from the fire. To the two fertilized egg in the petri dish, or the baby. Who would you save?
I don't like answering these questions.
Well, you're sorry, you have to.
Like Matt, like if I asked you, like if there was a fire, there's a random mother or your mother, who would you save?
That's not even. I mean, I don't even think that's analogous.
Those
here.
two people have the same value.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what Harry and I are saying is like, you're going to save the baby because it has more value than a single-celled organism in a petri dish.
I don't like making those choices.
Well, if you had to, two fertilized egg in the petri dish.
I don't have to.
Why would you not answer this question though? Wouldn't it be
They
like
all die?
You're muted, by the way. Wouldn't this be like an easy question for you to answer? If you think that like a fertilized egg is as valuable as a 1-year-old baby or infant, I think somebody said in the chat.
Yeah, since at the moment of conception, every single life has equal value. Yeah.
So then, what would be your answer?
Like I said, I don't like answering those kind of questions because it's like I don't feel like picking between human beings, like lives.
No, you don't like answering the question because any rational person would pick the 1-year-old.
No, you can ask me like,
yes. Yes, that's why you don't want to answer the question
No,
because you know it's contradictory to review.
We had this train thing in school, like pull the liver, and you had to answer these questions. Like I just hated answering them, and none of them were like zygotes really. They're all just like about like save your either.
Yeah, but
save
that's
your,
the trolley problem. That's it's a different thing. But I believe your answer to be the 1-year-old, and that's why you don't want to answer it because you know that it's contradictory.
I just don't want to. I don't like answering those type of questions.
So then, what the? I mean,
I think his answer is actually the zygotes, and
you think so?
that's what's crazy. Well, yeah, because there's 2 of them, and he said the value is the same as the baby. So
Perhaps you would, which would be even crazier. It's wild. And I don't. You should just answer. I don't know, but whatever. You're muted, by the way. I think you have like something going on, but I just wanna let you know.
So, John, is that yeah?
Yeah, I guess so.
I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
What do you think about intercourse for non baby making purposes?
Like
Sorry, I don't need
she means like if you like have sex without like.
Yeah, I know what she means.
I got some
You need
backup
it
here. I
explained?
love it. Or are they? Wait, hold on. Are they pro life as well?
Yeah, this is hi.
You guys are pro life as well?
Yes.
What a disaster! My God.
No, it's not a disaster.
It's disastrous. Just total disaster. Go ahead, answer the question though, John. No, you don't have to. You don't have to. You mute yourself when you're with them. They're yapping. Come on.
You can
I'll
be
let them talk.
respectful. We're trying to be respectful here. You can be respectful too.
I'm not being disrespectful.
We're not
I'm
being
asking a
disrespectful. I
question.
think it's disastrous though.
That's a disaster.
This is what I was
When people have an opinion, it's not a disaster.
Well,
The
I mean,
disaster is it's very hard to listen to a woman, I assume, yes, have this opinion and not realize what the actual consequences are.
No,
real quick,
So my thing
real
is-
quick,
Wait,
real
can I
quick.
say something?
No, real
I'm
quick.
no. Can
You guys can talk to them. Right now. I'm gonna go. I'll be back.
Okay.
all right.
So my thing is, I'm very understanding as to why people are pro-choice. I understand where they're coming from. I understand that's just like, but there's a lot of corruption in Planned Parenthood. There's a lot of corruption in all those things. It's all, I mean, the starter of it, Margaret, whatever her name is, was a racist, and like, there's so much like corruption in like that environment, and they do everything for money. The people, the doctors, they will like just do, and we know people who used to be doctors and or like people that worked at Planned Parenthood, like would be like, and came out and talk about it and be like, no, like we saw terrible, absolutely horrifying things go on there because they're doing it all for money. It is a money plan. Like that's what Planned Parenthood is. And
I have a question. Like, have you guys ever talked to someone who's had an abortion? Have you ever actually done?
yeah, they definitely have.
Have you
Probably.
Have you done your research? Because
Do you know who I am?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, I think Nurse Heather
So
has. You know.
I am a labor and delivery nurse. I have been in the room for many of them and helped.
Yeah.
Yes, I have seen abortions, very
And
much so.
I've talked. I've never seen one.
Yeah, for what?
People have.
Oh, you're pro-life?
No. We're both pro-choice.
No, she said she's personally pro-life, right?
Yeah.
Me myself? Yeah, for my own body, I would not choose to have an abortion.
Okay. And why is that?
It's actually I personally do value that life at conception. It doesn't come from a religious standpoint though. It's just scientific. I did
No.
I have a whole degree in cell biology, developmental biology, and genetics. And so like that was the whole point, was like development from a egg and sperm to a baby. And so yeah, I place value there, but I also believe that I have no right to tell other people what to do.
Yeah, no, I understand that. But if you place value there, then why don't you think other people should? Because that you can't.
I didn't say that.
It's if you place value in it, basically you're saying that you think.
No,
Oh,
so
you don't place
if
value
you
in it?
value life at conception, I would never tell you to have an abortion. Like that's fine. Your choice can be
Yeah, but the
life.
reason why but the reason why I value life at conception is because I believe that it is a human being. So I believe that everybody should value life at conception, because I can't be like, oh, I just do, because I value that it is a human being. So I can't and I understand why. So I think you either could just be pro-choice or pro-life. I don't think you could be just personally pro-life, because that isn't. I don't see how you could Yeah.
That's the
I don't think
definition
because
of
we believe that
pro-choice.
it's murder, so I can't.
Like the
I don't think I
definition
can
of
say, oh, I can like.
pro-choice is that each
Yeah,
person
no,
gets to have a choice.
exactly. Has a choice, but like somebody that's pro-choice doesn't. I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess you do, but like believes that that it has value. I think anybody that's pro-choice doesn't believe that there's like that the baby has value. But like
Sorry,
I do believe that. Like I do
this
believe that
came
he has
across
value.
my mind too. How old are you?
I'm 18.
Yes, for real?
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
I'm not an
I'm
age schnauzy, so
Yeah, you just have to be 18. That's actually a good point. I didn't even think of that. You have to be 18 to be on TikTok Live, so we're just asking for that reason.
Oh yeah, but I didn't know that, but like I actually am.
Okay.
okay.
I'm in college. Yeah.
So go ahead, Heather, if you wanted to say something.
No, I think like that's just like that's the thing. So like there's nothing wrong with being personally pro-life, right?
People are saying I sound 12. I can show you my
You do.
ID.
You sound very young. So
No, everyone says that, but like I go to Fairfield University. Well, now I'm. Oh my God, I shouldn't have said that. Okay, never mind. But so, I said that. But I am in college, and so is my cousin who like right here. We're both. Okay, sorry, never mind.
You're good,
I'm gonna
you're
stop.
good,
your husband? You guys are
You're
married?
good, you're good.
Cousin,
You're married?
No, cousin.
Oh, cousin. Sorry. Oh my God.
Cousin.
I was like, wait a second. Now I'm confused.
I'm her older brother, and this is her cousin.
my
Our
cousin.
cousin.
Yeah.
She's talking about her.
How many people are there? 3?
It's 3.
Three.
Okay.
We can't. We don't think.
I'm not even in the conversation
We don't think it
anymore.
should be personal. Like I don't think there should be because I think we should tell the people like I think.
Wait, so stop. So what were you gonna say? Because you were gonna say something.
Yeah. So, I mean, the question that I asked before was like around having intercourse for reasons not to procreate.
Yeah.
Like that's
Oh, like
okay?
so I support. Yeah, I think. Oh, like having intercourse so that you. Oh, I see. Yeah,
Sure.
I think that's fine. Yeah,
That's fine.
like to have sex and like to not get pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Okay. So, you know that like 50% of abortions, early abortions are due to failed contraception?
Yeah, no, but like what I mean is like let's say there is like if you do have sex that you are willing to get pregnant, but like I think it's fine if like you're in a marriage and like let's say like you can't get pregnant and you're having sex. I think that's completely fine if you are having sex and you can't get pregnant. I'm not saying sex is completely for getting pregnant, but like if you do have sex, you should be willing to take the chance of that you're willing to take the chance of getting pregnant. That's what I mean.
Okay.
So it's like
So let me ask you this question then. So if you consent to sex, so consensual sex,
yeah.
are you also consenting to having a baby in 9 months?
Well, yeah, you're willing to get like you should put yourself in a position where like for me, like if I were ever in a relationship, I would never have sex if I'm not willing to get pregnant. Is that's what you mean? Yeah.
Yes, that's what I mean. And that's that's completely fine of a position to hold. So one thing that's interesting is that most often men don't even think about this, right? So they don't think that when they're consenting to have sex, that they're consenting to have a baby in 9 months, or that they're forcing the woman that they're with to have a baby in 9 months, right?
Yeah, I think most people are not thinking of it in that way, and I think that's why like people like use protection and stuff, but that doesn't always work. But I think that everybody should keep in mind like that you have a possibility of getting pregnant and you should be aware of that. Like I think obviously not everybody's aware of that, and that's like I'm not blaming anybody for that. Like I understand, but I think that like I do think that everybody should have pregnancy, and I think that they teach that in schools. You should have pregnancy in mind when you do have sex. So if you are having sex, you're risking pregnancy, and if you're risking that chance and then you do like let's say you have consent, like let's say you have sex and it's like whatever, you didn't get raped, and then you get pregnant, you should be willing to have that baby because you put yourself in that situation to like that situation.
So the issue kind of comes with how do we legislate that?
Well, I think it's up to the states. I think that should be completely up to the states. What?
Absolutely not.
My brother said no. No, my brother said no. Well, I don't think that should be up to the
reason why I disagree with that, because not disagree with it, but the reason why I don't like how she said that is because let's say the states all agreed on in Alabama to have slavery. Like, I don't think that stuff should be up.
Yeah.
To
someone's listened to what Dean said that.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, I didn't think of it that way.
But the reason why it's different is abortion and slavery is that slavery they both should be banned.
Wait,
so,
but if you're speaking,
if
you're speaking in like a political stance, like because obviously it's up to the states right now. Like, I don't think either whoever would have won in the election would have changed that either way. Like, that's why it's like when people are voting for someone based on abortion, it's like that doesn't really make sense to me, because it's like Trump's not going to take away people's right to abortion because it's not up to him. So it's like,
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, no.
Well,
He takes an awful lot of credit for overturning Roe v. Wade.
He does say, "I did it."
True.
You know?
No, yeah, that's true, but now he doesn't.
No, he does. He was doing it in the election. Also, it absolutely would have been different depending on who won. So with Kamala Harris, she was pledging to codify Roe v. Wade, meaning that if Congress passed a law codifying, or I should say just protecting Roe v. Wade in federal law, she would sign it. And so that every woman in any state could get an abortion. Or alternatively, if Congress wouldn't do that because Congress kind of sucks, she would appoint pro-life judges and pro-choice judges and justices to the Supreme Court or lower courts, so that if a case were to work its way up the courts regarding abortion, they would rule likely in a pro-choice way. So there's a number of ways that Kamala Harris was talking about influencing this, and the president really matters. The president appoints these judges or justices depending on the court, and that's why Roe v. Wade is gone in the first place, because the president has the power and Donald Trump used it to take rights away from women.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, no, thank you. I didn't even think of it that way, and that's a good point. What? Why are you doing that?
I was gonna say, how do you know like Roe v. Wade was founded in the first place?
I mean, the case originating in the 1970s.
Yeah.
Like with the dogs?
Yeah. So the case was founded by the lady who she said that she was raped, and she lied about that, and she admitted to it in 1989.
Well, everything, like even Planned Parenthood was started by a racist. So
No. That's not about.
That's not what happened in the case.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not. That's not what happened. There was a woman in Texas who was denied an abortion, and she sued the state of Texas that was a deprivation of rights.
She lied. No,
she sued in favor of being pro-choice. She later came out in favor of being pro-life. But actually, I think I just saw Law of the Wild. Let's bring the whole gang up here, man. Why not? I think I just saw Law of the Wild. So maybe we'll get him up here. He can talk more in depth about it. Oh, there he is. If he wants to. I don't know if he wants to, but we'll see.
Who's this?
He's a lawyer.
He's a lawyer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We'll see if he I don't know if he comes up. We'll see. But that's not true. And also, like, even if anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll let law speak to it. It's not the way that the case originated, but the law.
About being raped. And
Go ahead, Law.
To lying in 1989.
Yeah, and then later on, Norma McCupney, who's Jane Roe, said that documentary was selectively edited and that she hasn't taken a position either pro-life or pro-choice on there. And there was never anything in the record that she lied about getting raped. That never happened.
I swear to God, it happened.
I would challenge you to find a source on that.
Well, yeah.
Well, Law, you swear to God that it happened. So case closed.
Yep, case closed.
No.
So, I mean, I think you guys have all made your moral stances clear. So I'm curious. Did I hear somebody as a lawyer, law student? I was confused.
I thought you were. I don't know.
Well, yeah, we know
He's
you
a
are.
Yeah. Okay. Somebody in the chat had said that one of the guests was, or I guess it wasn't one of the people in the room. There was a lawyer or law student. So my apologies. But I think you guys have made your moral position clear on that. I'm curious what's the government's interest in regulating abortion?
Right.
Yeah, like I asked, how do you legislate something like, you know,
Like, wait, I'm confused by the question. How should they handle it?
Well, so, all right, let me simplify.
Personally, I think they should get an
What
abortion.
should the penalty be for a woman who gets an abortion?
I don't think there should be any penalty.
I think the doctor should be penalized. Like,
You can talk.
yeah, but I don't think the women, because it's not their fault. They get brainwashed by doctors and people. It's not their fault. No, it's not their fault. I'm not blaming the women in this having abortion. I do not think that if like I think that if it ever does get banned in the state, I think the doctors should get punished because they're the ones that really know what's going on and they're bad people. That's what I think. And they're making profit off of women. And it's awful, but it's true. And so I do not think the women should get punished at all. That's what I think.
Before Law of the
Can I
Wild
tell
responds,
you
just out of
you're
curiosity, do you think
100%
that
wrong?
Heather's a bad person?
What?
Do you think that Heather's a bad person?
Is she a doctor for abortion? I don't know.
I'm a nurse. It does them.
Oh, you're a nurse that does them?
Mhm.
Well,
You've heard Heather speak. She's obviously like very educated on this. She has degrees. She's gone through all the necessary training. She's been a nurse for
but
some
I
time.
think
Like,
that
do you think that she's a bad person who's
like,
brainwashing people into getting abortions? Is that really the stance that we're going to take
yeah,
here?
but I don't think that
Oh, yeah?
I don't think you're meaning. Well, I don't think you mean to, but I think that you're lost.
So Heather is unintentionally brainwashing women into getting abortions. Is that the understanding here?
No, I don't think she's not forcing people to get abortions. They're not forcing people to get abortions.
No, I didn't say she's forcing anybody, but you're saying that these doctors are brainwashing people and whatnot. So I'm just curious, do you think that Heather is like unintentionally brainwashing people to get abortions? Is that the position?
But it's interesting that you're the one that is personally would never get an abortion because you see dignity in it, and you're also the one that knows what's going on in an abortion. That's a little bit, that's interesting to me. It's like you're the one that knows what's going on. You're also the one that person would never do that. And it's like, so you're seeing it happen to the women. You're seeing other women get abortion. You're seeing that, like, you're like, oh, I think that baby has dignity. Like, you think that baby has dignity, but then you're still allowing them to do it. So it's like that kind of concerns me, that like an actual person who's educated on it is also the same person who would never do it themselves.
Yeah, so what it comes down to is like it's a much, much, much bigger, more complex picture. So like everything gets really super conflated. The decision to terminate a pregnancy is impossible to make. It sucks. It's horrible. And no, women are not influenced by healthcare professionals on which decision they should make.
What about the escorts at Planned Parenthood?
Yeah, what about the escorts at Planned Parenthood who are all like and we know somebody who used to be an escort at Planned Parenthood and who has seen, and also what concerns me is there's a lot of health concerns that are involved in it too, because they brought an escort to help with an abortion. That is so dangerous. That they brought somebody to help with a medical procedure that's that dangerous. That's so unsafe. They would bring somebody who never had any nursing experience, never had anything in medical school. They let them help them in an abortion. Like that's
Do you know
so
how the
concerning.
majority of abortions are performed in the United States?
By the pill, right? Or I don't know.
Through mifepristone and misoprostol, a medicated abortion. Like the doctors aren't making money on that; they're prescribing a pill.
Yeah, but the pill is also incredibly dangerous too, and it has killed many people, and it also has caused many.
It is super, super safe.
And also, it does cost money to
Get an abortion, right?
And also, what do you mean? People, you don't think anybody's making money off that drug? You don't think anybody is?
I think if
anyone, the pharmacist, like anything.
There's
Do you think
thousands of other
nobody's making
procedures that
money
are
off
far more profitable than abortion. If a
Do you-
doctor's
no, no,
only
do you think-
motivation was
No, what you
money.
answer the question? Do you think anybody? Do you think nobody's making money off that drug? Nobody. Do you think nobody's making money off of that? Be honest.
So mifepristone and misoprostol are
No, I want you to answer the question. Yes or no? Is somebody
answering
making
it. Those
money
are the
off of
drugs.
that pill?
He's answering it.
They're
Okay.
off-label use. So they're used for many different things, for hemorrhaging and things like that.
They're
So
used for many different things. Okay.
nurse is going to be far more educated on the medical side of it than I am. But
We use
you know,
meso all the time for lots of things.
For
Mesoprostol,
like,
all the
okay,
time.
yeah. Yeah, but like it's clearly has caused a lot of health concerns when it's used for abortion.
No,
Because like it's like the same thing. No, because yes, it has, and like yeah, like
it's had a
there's
couple,
obviously things
sure,
that
but
help
not a
people.
lot.
There's a lot of drugs that help people, but also hurt a lot of people too. Like that you have to use
Yeah,
it for the
like
right reasons. And abortion is not
you know, like the most dangerous drug out there is like Tylenol.
the right reason. Like there's been stories about well, there's been stories about people who have been bleeding for days and or people that have died from it. There's been so many, and then for the rest of their life have seen signs like bad like effects from their abortion. And again, I'm not trying to keep going back to this, but it's like you're also somebody who's seen so many abortions and you would never get one yourself. Like that kind of shows a lot.
Well, I think that just
oh, go
like
ahead.
you're I think you're not understanding the concept of pro-choice and like abortion care. So like for myself,
No,
I'm
you
in a
can't.
position where I could have a baby. Right? Like I mean, I can't actually. I can't have babies anymore. I've had them and I'm done.
Yeah.
So I'm very thankful
Yeah.
that I've never been in the position of needing to make this choice, but it's a super complex choice, right? So I appreciate
yeah, for
that when I speak to women and their families that are in the position of making this decision, it is very complicated. There are so many factors that go into it that I'm not going to tell them that whatever the reasons are for them making the decision they make are invalid. That's not my job. My job is just to like answer their questions and help them with whatever choices
Yeah.
they make.
Yeah, but I just think that what you're helping them with is
Murder.
You're off
I think
TikTok.
it's,
We
I
can't
think
hear
it's
you.
murder. I think it is, but oh, sorry. Hi. But I don't I think it's murder, and I think it's really sad how many like people are like have been brainwashed about it, and there's been many people. We know people who've gotten abortions who are very like that obviously are now pro-life, and it sucks because that
Years of therapy, like gone drugs.
yeah, and like in years of therapy and like and not understanding why they feel this way. It's because
That's gonna happen either
that
way.
left of
All right, you're gonna respond to that real quick, but I gotta go. It's kind of late, so but if you want to respond to that real quick, and then I might just head out, or if you don't, I
Well,
can head
just
out now.
like the long-term effects, pregnancy, no matter how it ends, why it ends, or when it ends, is a forever impact on a woman.
yeah,
Forever.
definitely.
Forever and ever.
Yeah, no, but basically my whole
There is no brainwash.
no, but I've heard differently, and I think
Abortion is like you're forcing it to end. Like
yeah, you're forcing it to end. Yeah, like what were you gonna say? No, you can say so if you can speak. But like, yeah, like there's obviously it's a very, very tough decision. It's a very tough thing. But I think that people should do everything in their power. Like for me, like what I did today was like I brought like gifts to like the Missionaries of Charity because they will like take pregnant women in who are homeless and they can't afford their child. Like I think we should do those things to help women. I think that's so important. We have to take care of the mother
And then you
the
vote for
child 'cause they're both
Republicans.
human beings,
It's
and they
just
both
comical.
deserve to be loved. And
Yes,
did I say that?
You're speaking to the great.
When did I say that?
Did you vote for Trump?
Well, yeah, I voted for Trump, but that's because Kamala's a terrible person. Like, I don't like Trump. I don't like.
Yeah, trust me, I know this guy wants to leave. We're not going to get into it, but the point is that you're like, oh, we should be doing more of these programs that like take care of these pregnant women and mothers. But Donald Trump, during his first term and now subsequently his second term that's coming, has proposed budget cuts that help people in these positions. So that's the problem, right? So it's just like your vote contradicts what you're saying here. And it's like, yeah, let's take away reproductive rights and then vote for Donald Trump because I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense.
All right, appreciate you talking to Harry. Good to see you.
That was very abrupt. He was wanting to get away.
That was a lot of opinion for very young people.
They're very, yeah, right. I mean, they're very, yeah, I don't know.
And it's all based on their own personal morality. They're unable to make a policy-based argument on it. Yeah, she said, okay, well, women shouldn't be punished. Well, that's what happens when you turn it over to the states. They're punishing the women, and they're putting them into situations which are, putting their health at risk, and in some situations, their lives at risk. And to me, that's immoral.